Hello and welcome to Fayette County Public Library Storytime. Our first story today is The Moon Man. Oh, do you see these animals? You know what this animal is?
Squirrel.
And this is?
A rabbit.
And this is?
A cat.
Gathering flowers. And there's the Moon Man.
The moon man.
In the sunny corner of a wheat field grew a great oak tree. Sitting under its branches were cat, rabbit, and squirrel. They were chatting as usual, this time about what they were going to have for lunch. Suddenly, the farmer arrived on his tractor. See his tractor back there in the background? He put up a scarecrow in the middle of the field and then drove away. Of course you know what a scarecrow is, but Cat and Squirrel didn't. So they asked Wise Old Rabbit. "It's a crow scarer, I'm sure," Rabbit said, hopping up to take a closer look. "It smells like buttercups and fresh grass," sniffed Cat. "And he has a friendly face," smiled Squirrel. For the rest of the day, the friends played happily beside the scarecrow. And when the sun began to set, they went to sleep, just like always in their country homes. Comfy they were. Looky here, there's the squirrel's comfy home, and the rabbit's comfy home is under the ground, and the cat's comfy home is in the barn. There was a full moon that night, and in the moonlight, Fox, Owl, and Hedgehog spotted a strange new thing in the field. "What is it?" asked Hedgehog. "I think it's a man," said Fox. "From the moon," hooted Owl. "A moon man! Is he dangerous?" cried Hedgehog. Excuse me.
That's a big squirrel.
Owl shook his head. "I don't think so," he said. "He must be hungry," added Fox. "He's traveled a long way." So the friends decided to make a feast for the Moon Man. And look, they're collecting berries and carrots. They've got all kinds of things in there. All night they gathered tasty treats and put them at his feet. Then, yawning, they headed home to bed. When the sun came up, Cat, Rabbit, and Squirrel met at the great oak tree. "Wow!" Squirrel gasped. "He gave us food," purred Cat. "Thank you, Crow Scarer." "Let's eat," said Rabbit, hopping around happily. Now, did that scarecrow bring that food?
Nope.
The
Rabbit.
The fox, the hedgehog, and the owl brought the food. They thought the scarecrow did. That's funny. "We must give him a thank you present," smiled Cat when all the food was gone. So for the rest of the day, the friends picked beautiful flowers and decorated the scarecrow with them. "Night, night, Crow Scarer," yawned Squirrel as afternoon turned to dusk. "Sweet dreams." When it was dark out, Fox, Owl, and Hedgehog returned to find that the feast had disappeared and the Moon Man was covered in flowers. "He ate it all," cheered Fox happily, "and he picked those flowers to take home," said Hedgehog. "Yes," nodded Owl wisely, because there are no flowers on the moon.
No.
See, he's thinking about what it would look like to have flowers on the moon.
But that was fake earlier. I was just fake.
Yeah, that wasn't the scarecrow that did that, was it? No.
It was the owl.
Oh, the cat
And the owl.
and the fox
And the owl.
squirrel, not the owl. Do you think he's homesick? Wondered Hedgehog. I would be, agreed Fox. But how can he get home? Well, let's build him a rocket, agreed. They all shouted together.
Yeah.
Look at, they're thinking about this rocket now. Look at that rocket. Do you think that would get him to the moon?
No.
I don't either. So Owl drew a plan while Fox and Hedgehog gathered the materials. Oh, look up here. They're working on it. The friends worked hard, and soon the rocket was almost ready. Hedgehog and Fox tied the final twig in place. Perfect, hooted Owl as he poured honey inside for fuel. Now, when we drive our cars, we put gas in them to make them go. They're putting honey in this rocket to make it go.
But honey don't make it go.
I wouldn't think so. Then, before the friends headed home, Owl tucked some of his old feathers inside the Moon Man's sleeves to help him fly. Look at the feathers in his sleeves.
Hey, Mama, what?
Shh, turn around.
Pouting.
Gotta be quiet. Turn around. Early the next morning, the farmer arrived at the field. He was puzzled to find the scarecrow covered in flowers and feathers. So he cleaned them off and moved the scarecrow to a faraway field. This is going to be funny. Cat, rabbit, and squirrel watched the farmer sadly. Thanks for the food, Magic Crow Scarer, said Cat. I will miss you, sniffed Squirrel. There goes the scarecrow away in the tractor wagon. That night, Fox, Owl, and Hedgehog were happy to see that the Moon Man had flown away in his rocket. Did he go away in his rocket? No. What did he ride away in?
Nothing.
The tractor wagon. Remember? They looked up and saw a star shooting across the dark sky. There he goes, the animals cheered as they imagined their friend back on the moon with his family. Goodbye, Moon Man, whispered Hedgehog, and good night.
Must be sad.
So they think this star that went across the sky was that scarecrow flying to the moon.
Nope.
I don't think so either. There's a picture of them gathering food. That's the end of that story. All right. Pay close attention. Miss Lisa has another one.
All right, this one is called Scarecrow Magic. Now, if you look at the front of the cover, you can see this beautiful scarecrow with the big moon in the back. But look at the back side.
Scary.
Does it look scary? Oh my goodness, does this nice scarecrow with all of his pretty scarecrow clothes on turn into a skeleton? Let's find
I
out.
can't watch scary things.
Now, I don't really like scary things either, but I think this will be a fun story. It's called Scarecrow Magic. There's that scarecrow. They're supposed to scare crows away, right? Let's see what he does. Glow from the moon, so full and bright. A cool autumn breeze turns the air crisp and light. Hung from a post, a man made of straw. Moves his finger, a hand, the eyebrow, and a jaw. Is he coming alive in the nighttime? What do you think, friends? Is he going to come alive?
I don't think so.
Oh, the magic is building. The ground comes alive. Troublesome creatures begin to arrive. Shadows take on a life of their own. They growl and they grumble and they ramble and roam. Look at all the things that have come alive. Look at all the shadows back there. Is this a worm, you think? Look at that critter. Some of these things I don't think are real. Look at that little guy. Look at this guy. He's got glasses on. Some are as bald as a pumpkin, but some are covered with hair. Look, friends, at all the weird creatures in the picture.
I'm scared.
Excitement is growing in the chilly night air. A man made of straw knows the time is just right. He loosens the ropes that are binding him tight. Look, he's getting those ropes off of his arms. Is he going to get down off that post?
I don't know.
Is he going to join all these friends?
Yep.
You think? All right, let's see. He jumps from his post, landing light as a pin. With a zip and a swoosh, he slips out of his skin.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him. Bones rattle and sway on their own clever way. His day job is done. Now he's ready to play. Look, there's even critters in the water. Look at him. He creaks and he croaks as he belts out a tune. Ghoulies and ghosties dance under the moon. That's sort of scary. Would you want to see one of those in the water if you were walking across a bridge at night? Oh, look at his friends. Goblins jump rope with a double Dutch vine. Bones boy hops in, stepping all in time. Look, what did they just call him? Bones boy?
No, I don't think.
Long lumpy gourds stand pinned to the ground. Round knobby pumpkins, roll them all down. Look, they're bowling with pumpkins. Isn't that funny, friends? I think that looks cool. From under the leaves, a pair of eyes peek. Critters all hide while the skeleton seeks. Oh, look, they're playing hide and seek. The skeleton gets to do the counting, and everybody else is hiding. Stones become marbles and rocks become jacks. Ghosties appear bringing slug balls for snacks. A slimy fresh worm, a delectable treat. A ghoul's favorite snack has the odor of feet. Would you want us to eat something that smells like feet?
Ooh, stinky.
Ew. Crusty cornstalks make good swords to wage battle. Scarecrow joins in. You can hear his bones rattle. Rattle, rattle. Soon playtime is over and the sun starts to rise. The goblins and the ghoulies all must say bye-bye.
Time for night-night.
Yep. Some blend into the shadows, some burrow down low, some tidy the field so no one will know. Look at this big hole home he's made for himself, way down under there. Those are funky little critters, aren't they? Back on his post, Scarecrow zips up his skin. Fun time has ended, soon the work must begin. With a wink and a nod, he bids them good night. His ghoulish young friends are all hidden from sight. Now it's time to be a scarecrow again, isn't it? But he knows that the magic will return one night soon. On a chilly, clear night in the light of the moon. So what do you think? Do scarecrows turn into skeletons? No.
Still don't believe that, huh?
Pretty cool story if you ask me. All right, so we've had two stories about scarecrows, and we have our friend Mr. Scarecrow up here. So we're going to do some counting, because what's he missing all over his jacket? What's he missing, Kylie? Is he missing buttons? Yeah. Okay, so we need to add some buttons to this guy. So we're going to stick a hat on him. And if you can read me that number, I'll let you put that many buttons on his coat.
1.
Yay, it's a 1. Come here and pick a button. What kind of button should Mr. Scarecrow have? Which one would you like? That button right there. Okay. Put it up there somewhere. Oh, he's going to look so pretty, isn't he? All right, we're going to switch hats. He has one button to match his hat, doesn't he? All right. Do we know what this number is?
2.
2, that's right.
Good.
So he has one button already, so we need one more to make 2. Can you put another one up there? Ooh, that's a pretty button. All right, go ahead and put it on there. Great job. So now we count 1, 2.
2.
And that matches with the 2 on his hat. All right, let's try another hat. What comes next, you think? 1, 2. What number is that? 3. That's right. So we have 2 buttons already. We need one more, and then we'll count to 3. What button is he going to get this time? That one? Okay, grab that one. Oh, look at those pretty buttons. He's going to be all beautiful real soon, isn't he?
Let's say pull on the
Right there. Can we count
good
the buttons? 1,
2.
2, 3. Good job. All right, that hat's going to come off. Let's see, friends. What number is this? Can you say it before our friend here does? What number is that?
2.
Oh, we already did it 2. How many is this?
4.
Yeah, that's that number. That's 4. Is that how old you are? Are you? All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. We need another button. Can we pick another? Oop, I just threw one at you. You want that one or something different? Something different. All right, let's just take from here. Want the pink one? The purple one? Ah, that's a good one.
I want to pick one.
Okay. Well, we only need one
Just
right
one.
now. You just need one more. All right, let's count and let's make sure the buttons match his hat. Whoops, let's get him right where you had him. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that matches the hat number 4. All right, when we count 1, 2, 3, 4, what comes next? 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
What? Is that a 5?
No.
No, you're right. That is not a 5. Get back under there. That's not a 5. Is this a 5?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Do we have 5 buttons on him? Not yet. We need to add another one. All right. Put that up there and we'll count and make sure he has 5 to match his hat. Okay, ready? Let's count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
And you have all 5 different colors, don't you? They're so pretty. All right, so what comes after 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 comes next. And is this a 6?
Yes.
Did I do it right? Okay, good. Oh,
Good.
Good. I want to make sure I have the right hat. All right, that means we need another button. What one goes next? And we don't, I always think we have one triangle, but which one we're going to do? The purple? Purple square? Good idea.
It says the pull matches that.
Okay, can you count with me? Let's see, make sure the hat matches the number of buttons.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What comes after 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7.
Woo! Is this a 7?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so it means we need one more button. All righty. You are doing so good. Is that the one we want? Which one are we going to put up there? He has lots of button choices. Ooh, the star.
Star.
All right.
6.
Where's he going to go on his jacket? Right there. That's a good plan.
It says that, go like that.
All right, let's count to make sure that the buttons match the hat. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one didn't want to stay. Now there's only 6. We'll put it back. 7. Good job. 7 buttons on Mr. Scarecrow.
Let's put more buttons on.
Well, that's all we're going to do for today. Miss Kim's got another story for us.
Yes.
Now, then we can finish that again.
No, maybe.
Have you ever heard a story about Splat the cat?
Mm-hmm.
He's quite a cat, let me tell you. In this story, the title is Splat Says Thank You. Look at these pictures. You got to watch what's happening in the story. Look, we've got Splat the cat and a mouse. Splat was worried about Seymour. He was worried that Seymour hadn't smiled all day. He was covered in spots and not feeling well. This isn't right, thought Splat. How can I make Seymour smile? Now, if you were trying to make someone smile, what would you do?
I say wake up.
You would just say, wake up? And then what would you do to make them smile?
Cheese.
Say cheese?
I think I would tickle them.
Oh, look. What do we have here?
A mouse.
That's a fish in the goldfish bowl. Splat pulled a book from a drawer and showed it to Seymour. Look, it says, For Seymour. I made it for you, Splat said. I call it a friendship book. I think that's a pretty blanket. You know those two colors? Green and purple.
Green and purple. Green and purple.
Splat opened the book. It began quite simply. For Seymour, the best mouse I know.
1, 2.
Seymour sneezed. Achoo! Splat turned the page and began to read aloud. When I was scared to try out for the school play, you encouraged me to do it anyway, said Splat. Thank you. He's trying to make Seymour feel especially nice today. And when Mrs. Wimpy Dimple gave me the lead role, I couldn't have learned my lines without you. Thank you, Splat continued. See, here's the mouse. And he says, 5 beans for the cow. And so then Splat knew what he was supposed to say. 5 beans for the cow. And when I laughed so hard at Plank that I forgot my lines,
Let's do more letters to do that.
you helped me remember them. See, he's out. Seymour was out in the audience, and he held up a little sign that said, 5 beans for the cow. Thank you. Splat looked at Seymour and thought that he was just about to smile, but he sneezed instead. Achoo! And Splat read on.
He still has spots now.
He still has spots, you're right. When I broke my mom's favorite ornament, you fixed it for me, said Splat. Except somehow Mom noticed and I had to have a bath and go to bed early.
Oh, he looks sad.
He does. He's got his head hanging down. He looks very sad. But thank you anyway, Splat said. Look, Seymour's kind of got his head down too. He feels bad for Splat. When I had my bath and got my toe stuck, you knew what to do. He used soap to help get his toe out of that faucet. Thank you, Splat said.
Thank you, Splat said.
And when I went to bed early, you sneaked me a flashlight so I could read my book, said Splat. Apparently Splat likes to read. His story is Secret Agent Cat, the case of the missing ducks.
The missing duck.
And Splat said, thank you. When I overslept the next morning, you woke me up so that I wasn't late for school, said Splat. He used a horn, honk, to wake him up. Splat says, thank you. When I borrowed my brother's kite and we played for hours, you made it so much fun. Thank you, said Splat.
I miss you back a little more.
Then when I climbed a tree to rescue my brother's kite and got stuck, What do you think happened? You rescued me, said Splat. And what did Splat say after he rescued him? Splat looked at Seymour and thought that he had to smile this time, but he hiccuped instead. Hiccup! Splat read on. He still has spots, doesn't he? When I pretended I was speeding through space in my rocket ship, about to be the first cat on the moon, and Spike passed me in a faster rocket ship and tried to become the first cat on the moon instead, you told me space cats never give up. So I didn't, continued Splat. So he said, thank you. Splat looked at Seymour and thought that Seymour was sure to smile this time, but Seymour scratched a tickly ear instead. Scratching his ear.
And he still has spots.
Uh-huh. So Splat read some more. When I told you my biggest secret, you didn't tell anyone else. Thank you.
But now he doesn't know when dots.
Well, that's because he's remembering something at that point. And when Spike gave Kitten a bigger Valentine card than the one I gave her, you knew how to make me feel better. Look. See what's in the wagon? What do you see? What's in here? What is that?
Cupcake.
Cupcakes. And do you see these bones?
No bones. We can't eat it. It's so hard.
Oh, not for a cat. He's going to eat the fish. Those are fish bones. So he's going to eat the fish.
Mama.
You know what Splat said then? He said, thank you. When little sis was covered in spots and not feeling well, you made her smile, said Splat. Thank you.
Hey, and now she has dots. Oh, no.
Yeah, that cat has dots now. And when I was covered in spots and not feeling well, you made me smile. Thank you. You are my smallest friend and my biggest, he added. But all I want to say is...
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, he said thank you again. And now look at Seymour. Do you see any spots on him now?
Nope.
I think he's all better now.
Now he's smiling.
So I think Splat's book that was all about how special Seymour was helped Seymour feel better.
Mama.
Yeah.
Can we do more of those?
Don't you think that was special? Yeah. I'm always thankful when people do nice things for me. And I hope that you are too. Well, that's all for today. And now it is time to say
Jump up. Bye-bye.
goodbye.